Hello, this is Blake Jacobs here, and I'm an educator at MCSI Cybersecurity Institutes. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about how to write a PowerShell script to list missing security patches. Now, these are the actions or specifications that we need to be able to achieve to pass the lesson. So we need to be able to write a PowerShell script that can automatically identify missing security patches. We need to also offer a remote scanning feature, whereby when a remote IP is specified, then that IP is scanned. We also need to offer a feature to list the security hotfixes and patches already installed on the target machine. So let's get straight into the PowerPoint presentation. So here's the agenda right here. We're going to be talking about what is Windows PowerShell, why are security patches important to regularly update, and efficient methods to managing patch updates, and how would updating security patches be achieved for hundreds or even thousands of machines. And then we'll go through a technical demonstration. So what is Windows PowerShell? Well, PowerShell is a task automation and configuration management framework from Microsoft, consisting of command line shell and the associated scripting language. So PowerShell has its very own powerful scripting language where we can write our own specific automation tasks for Windows to go off and do things while we do some other jobs. Now, why are security patches important to regularly update? Now, software updates are important because they often include critical patches to security holes, such as buffer overflows or ring zero vulnerabilities or ring zero exploits. So often there are security holes that have security issues and may be exploited by attackers, so we need to update those security holes and patch them as soon as possible. They can also improve the stability of your software and remove outdated features. All of these updates are aimed at making the user experience a lot better. Now, here are some efficient methods to managing patch updates. Now, these are that we can automate. These days, IT managers are expected to do more with less. So if you're off doing a job with a client, or you've got like say 20 jobs lined up where you need to go to 20 different locations to fix computers or do a specific job, we want to automate these tasks so we can get the job done a lot quickly and more efficient. Now, you can also plan your approach. So even with automated systems, you should plan out your approach to patch management. Tester patches are very important as well if you're an IT administrator. Don't just push out patches before testing them. Know the configurations and maintain patch levels. This is a very good one. So how would updating security patches be achieved for hundreds or thousands of machines? Now, this is very useful if you're a big organization and you've got, say, hundreds of thousands of machines in your infrastructure. We don't want to just install security patches one by one on each machine, because that could take a long time. So there are tools to actually install patches on many computers simultaneously, and one that I looked at was Batch Patch. And let's have a quick look at Batch Patch, by the way. So Batch Patch is a software that allows you to install many patches on many machines and reboot them after they're installed. And here's the software here, so you can have a look at this later on and when you're doing the challenge yourself. So it's free to download, and you pretty much just run the software and specify all the machines you want to install the patches on, and it will be complete. So this will be very useful to look at as well. Let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Now up to a technical demonstration on these type of scenarios and these type of actions we need to complete. So I have a few tabs over here that will help you understand and complete the lesson. So the first thing is getting missing updates. Now this function here will get missing updates from your computer. So this one here is a little bit more complex because it's a full-on-fledged function that might be a little bit hard to understand. So we'll actually look at another tab. This is just worth looking at because you may want to have a look at this as well. So this is another one that's scanning, download, and install Windows updates. This one is again a little bit more complex, but it's worth having a look at to pick out functions that you may need. So it even goes and breaks it down over all what the functions mean. So get module name update. Then it will get the Windows Update Provider. That's WURP. And it just breaks down each of the functions and the statements, and it will turn into a huge function, I'm assuming. So this is really useful to understand what you need to do to understand how to install updates. So there's even this queuing pending reboot. So this get WIS pending reboot tells you that if the reboot is pending from another the reboot is pending, meaning the update's installed and the computer is pending to reboot. Tells you a lot of stuff. Let's have a look at the WUA scan feature. So here's a way to scan for updates. Now, just a note, this is installed equals 0 means that this is looking for updates that haven't been installed. Is installed equals 1 means that the updates that have been installed. So think of this as a boolean. 1 meaning true, it's updated. 0 meaning they haven't updated. And this is very useful to look at for figuring out if the updates have been installed or not. Let's go to the next one. So what I looked up on Google was checking patches on all computers with PowerShell. Now there's a really good API doc on Microsoft that shows you how to do that, which is get hotfix. So get hotfix you need to specify the ID, which is a string, it's a list of strings, and a computer name, which is a list of strings that require more than one computer name, and the credentials for that computer. What that would do is that will get all the security patches on all the local computers, or on the computers that you have specified. And it's very cool because you can actually check if you're actually on your local network, you can type in this function and it will fetch all the computers and its updates that it needs. As you can see here, this is an example. Get hotfix, description, security, asterisk. You put a name, server 0, server 0, server 01, server 02, credentials, domain 01, admin 01. And what it will do is it will go and fetch all the updates from those computer names. This is a very useful function to actually use. And here's the parameters that it requires. So computer name is specify a remote computer, type the NetBIOS name, and you can get that by just going netview in CMD. And the credential is the user account that has permission to access the computer and run commands. And then description and ID. And this is pretty powerful. Like, this is really powerful for figuring out updates on remote systems. And also PowerShell has a way to do I looked up also PowerShell script to query a particular patch is installed on remote computers. So if you're after just specifying a particular patch, not all the patches, just a specific patch or specific KB, then you can do that with this script here. Obviously, what this does is it creates a variable for the directory. It declares a variable, and the variable is called directory to save to, which would be the directory that we're going to save all the files to, and the date and the file name. This is just this is for the spreadsheet location. This is for giving the spreadsheet a location and a name by the date. And then the computer would be a list of computers in a text file, and also enter the KB number. So that will be done by user input. We check to see if the path exists for the directory to save to exist. If not, create a new directory. And then this is where we do all the Excel object using com. So it's creating basically, I think, a Excel spreadsheet, and it gets a status code. And this is pretty much all the stuff that it does. Checks to see if the patch is installed. If it's not, pretty powerful stuff here. This is pretty much it for checking to see if a computer or remote computer has patches installed, or if you just want to list the patches. Let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. So that pretty sums up the lesson. I hope you have learnt so much from this video. It's only a very small task. It should be quite simple to do. And thank you very much for being a big part of the community. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Catch you later.